Hi, so this is my whole review. It's the half of the stuff what I didn't get around to doing last week, and it's the stuff I picked up this week as well, so another big part. So, jumping straight in, first of all, we have Two-Face #1 by Christian Ward, who did Batman, was it the City of Madness or something, the Black Label one. Really great artist, good writer. Did a vampire story as well for Image. But he's one of those people, like Mark Wagner, he's a fantastic artist but also a really good writer. And the art's by Fabio Veras, and the colours is by Ivan Plasencia. The art is really, really good. But I don't know. I enjoyed the Penguin. I think it's a fine balancing act when you make a comic solely based on the villain. There's been a few times where it's worked. One, which is one of my favourite comics where the villain is based, is Eclipso from the 90s by Robert Loren Fleming, Keith Giffen and Bart Season and different artists later on. But if you have DC Universe Infinite app, I recommend reading it via that. I might be doing a video about DC Universe. I tried it this month and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. But yeah, so this is a villain-centric one about Two-Face, so it's kind of like half a villain, half a good guy, isn't it? Because it depends on the flip of the coin. So it's basically he's become like this underground judge, and he's defending and prosecuting different Gotham villains. In this one, it's Victor Zsasz. The art's really nice, the colour scheme and everything is really, really good, but it feels like a one-trick pony. I didn't put this on my pull list, but I'd try an issue first. And I don't know if I'm going to carry on. It's not bad by any means, but I just don't think it's a strong enough. Two-Face works better be bouncing off Batman or somebody else, not as a main character. So I can't see it work, to be honest. But it's not a bad comic. I'd say give it about 7 out of 10. But I just don't think there's nothing there to make me want to go back and get it again. So I think this could be my last one. But if you're a die-hard Two-Face fan, if you want to get everything Batman-centric, then I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's not a bad comic whatsoever. And then we move on to the weirdest comic of possibly the year, Paranoid Gardens #5. Again, with just beautiful, gorgeous artwork by Chris Weston, written by Gerard Way and Sean Simon, colours by Dave Stewart. And what's it about? I don't know. It's like a David Lynch film. Some things you can enjoy without them making sense. I love David Lynch, and 99% of the time I've not got a clue what he's doing when he's doing a film, but I enjoy the experience. And my favourite comedy is things like, in the America you might not have these, but Vic and Bob, The Smell of Reeves and Mortimer, where it's very surreal, very out there. There's no punchline or anything, it's just weird, but it tickles me. And this is the same in comic form, and it's like with some of the weirdest Grant Morrison stuff. There's nothing there to make you want to read it, but somehow there's like this kernel of weirdness that just gets into your skin and just makes you want to read this mystery. And it is a mystery because nothing's really explained. But with the art and just the writing is intoxicating by Gerard Way and Sean Simon. It's one of my favourite series of the year, but do not ask me what it's about. I might go into it more in depth with the 6th one. I can't really describe much because I just can't. But 9 out of 10, I love it for all its weirdness. Now, a few months back, I said I was stopping X-Men. I did not like Jed MacKay's writing on the X-Men, but like I've been doing with lots of stuff, I let it sit on the shelves in my shops and just see. And I picked up recently, as I mentioned last week, I picked up Exceptional X-Men again and Uncanny X-Men, and I'm really enjoying those. So I'll give X-Men a try. And I'm pleased I did. It's by far it's still my least favourite one of all the X-Men titles. But there's something that started to appeal to me more. Issue 6 was very much like the other ones where I just felt like, oh come on, you can do better. Felt like it was treading water, playing it very, very safe. But issue 7 is where it clicked for me. I enjoyed, there was less hand holding, and I enjoyed the flashback of this conversation between Cyclops and Magneto, and it explains why Magneto ends up in the floating wheelchair kind of device. And Cyclops is still a whiny bitch. I think he'll always be a whiny bitch, but it was good. The writing was good. It's stepped up a level, and I'm invested now in the characters. I'm actually enjoying how he's writing the characters now, and I like how he's leaning more into Chris Claremont's time on the X-Men more so than the Krakoa period. Krakoa is a great concept, but it wasn't my X-Men. I've got the books, I've got all the Hickman books and all that, but I like this kind of X-Men where it's more with regular Joes. Yeah, so I enjoyed the 7 out of 10, which is a big step up from previous. And then it's the start of the crossover with these two were by Paco Diaz on the artwork. They shouldn't say that this is a team book by Stegman and McKay, because I think Stegman is on this less than Paco Diaz, and it's not doing justice to Paco Diaz. He's doing some really good artwork on here, and it annoys me when Marvel do that. They put big names on it, and then the big name artists do like a cover or 1 or 2 issues, but the rest of it is done by another artist who doesn't get any of the glory, and I think it's a shame. But the art is okay, but to be honest, I think I actually prefer Paco Diaz's artwork. So this is the start of the crossover with Uncanny X-Men. So basically, Grey Mulk in the big prison has been basically kidnapping, like cherry picking and kidnapping different mutants, and basically the shit is going to hit the fan, and so both teams of the X-Men come to break out their comrades who've been put in this prison. And yeah, it was fun. So it was even better than the last one. So 8 out of 10. So yeah, I'm back on the X-Men train. And then we have a comic. I was going to stop because my local comic shop bugged my order up. They put, from the very beginning, bugged it up. I had to order issue 1 from another place. And then when I went to pick up issue 2, they had the second print of issue 1. And this week when I went in, they had issue 2. So go figure. So I felt like this was like the comic gods telling me, no, give it another chance. So I am doing. And it's good. It's very good. Of course, it's by Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, who's a fantastic artist. Their artwork is just so good. I do recommend, they've done quite a number of series for IDW with Scott Snyder. They've done the Unbeing, Into the Unbeing, I think it's called, by Dark Horse. They've got such a really good style to them, and they do employ to try out some of their other work, and they just keep on growing and growing with their art style. And they're doing a Batman series thing called Dark Patterns, so there must be a quick artist or another Dan Mora for doing intricate but quick art. A nice tip of the hat to Godzilla kaiju kind of horror. And yeah, it builds upon the premise of the previous story of Wonder Woman. So of course she's been raised by Hell now. So she rides Pegasus, who's a dead Pegasus. It's a skeleton with wings, a skeleton horse with wings, and she's fighting monsters, and I'm all for it. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Now, good comic action, 1078. It's number 9 of the 12 issue run by Mark Waid. Good backup strip, but I'm stopping it. I've got to budget, and I was just looking at the comics that come out in the weeks, and this is a $4.99 comic, which bumps up the prices of stuff I'm already getting. If it was bi-weekly, I could manage it more, so I'm stopping it. Doesn't mean I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to keep hold of them, and in a few months' time, when maybe my comics aren't piled up of orders, I'll just buy them in back issues, because they won't be as hard to find the later ones. But yeah, it's a good comic, but it's a silly idea to bring out a weekly comic. What's a $4.99 comic in a busy schedule of releases anyway? But yeah, 8 out of 10. And then we have one of the best comics of the year, Grommets. This is number 6. I think it's going to be like a 2 month gap between the final one, but the final one apparently is a double-sized one. So like it's carrying on with the tonal shift from last issue, where it went from being a fun retro, hey, Richard Linklater meets John Hughes kind of teen flick about growing up in 80s America, to basically flipping it on its head and showing you the grim reality of how things can get out of hand, and how if you weren't a jock, you would treat like scum by the jocks. And it doesn't hold back, or literally it doesn't hold back on the punches, and it is still one of the best comics on the stands at the moment. 9 out of 10 for this one, and I do recommend, if you don't aren't getting floppies, do get the collector's edition when it comes out. It's a really, really good retro slice of life comedy drama, so dramedy. So yeah, really good. And then we have Batman 155, riddled by riddled by the court of owls. I love Americans, how they do. In the UK, that can mean so many different things, being riddled by somebody, but hey. So yeah, so the big bads in this are the Riddler, who's become like this CEO kind, shady CEO kind of person now, who's trying to basically buy out all the Wayne Foundation stock, and he's in league with the League of Owls, but with the Court of Owls, and it's just really enjoyable because it's got. I hated the last issue, but he's back on board again with this issue. This is what pissed me off with Chip Zdarsky. He's up and down, up and down, up and down, and it gets very frustrating. But it's got, I think the thing that helps it this time, it's got art by Jorge Fornes, who did the Rorschach limited series and other things. Did I forgot what it's called now. But he's done quite a lot of stuff with Tom King. Really nice art. He does a really good, almost like a Mazzucchelli style Batman. I'd love for him to do a regular ongoing Batman series. And yeah, it improves a hell of a lot from last issue. Delves more into Jim Gordon, why Jim Gordon's done what he's done. It brings back a bit more detective work, which is what I love about Batman comic, when it does more of a detective story. So it's not doing Chip Zdarsky's normal extreme superhero take on Batman. The only thing that does annoy me is this silly plot line with this character who's claiming to be his brother. It's tired, it's been done before. So I'll give you about 7.5 out of 10, but 10 out of 10 for the artwork. Then All Winter number 5. Still carrying on being a beautiful Elseworlds series, just one more issue to go, by Jake Kristoff and Terso. So this develops onto the Dark Knights of Steel landscape. This is very much like a Game of Thrones kind of one, very brutal, with great backup strips by Tom Taylor, and Riccardo Federici, who did quite a lot of Action Comics when Philip Kennedy Johnson was on it, which delves more into this version of Aquaman. And yeah, it's a good savage fantasy action kind of comic. 8 out of 10. And then Jenny Sparks number 4. I'm loving this comic. The artwork is just beautiful. He's got really fun layouts as well. So he's got a good take on Jenny Sparks. I didn't want to buy this because I thought it was going to be cheesy, but it's not. It's a Tom King one where he just basically throws out continuity completely and does what he wants with characters, and it works. When he's given carte blanche, he does really good stuff, and I'm enjoying this, and I do recommend people pick it up. It's got fantastic art by Jeff Spokes as well, and there's about 30 odd pages of story in as well, so it's quite a chunky comic. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this take on Jenny Sparks, and Captain Atom makes a really good villain, and yeah, 9 out of 10. And I'm so pleased this is back. Issue 6 of Dick Tracy. Cover is really bad and awful, but it works for the artwork inside. Pitch Perfect Noir detective series. Brilliant reinvention of Dick Tracy. The story beats are so good. The art for the interior by Geraldo Borges is fantastic. The writing by Alex Segura and Michael Moretti is tone perfect for this period. It's one of my favourite comics this year, and yeah, 9 out of 10. And I recommend you get the collection if you've not been buying this comic. It's amazing, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And my high treat came in. I got the X-Ray Specs cover. Yeah, just building on the previous issue. It's the Twilight Zone with extra blood, and it's fantastic. 9 out of 10. Then we have Feral number 8. That has got. I think this could be my cover of the week. It's just so spooky. So basically, the cats end up at this crazy cat lady's house, and initially they think, oh, it's paradise. She's got all these cats. They're all going to be safe. No, by crazy, she is crazy. She has rules. If you're a naughty kitten, oh, watch out. And basically anything goes. So the woman, she doesn't clean up. So there's feces, other stuff. What you find out later, just being left unattended in the room in the house. So there's disease, piss and vomit and shit everywhere, and yeah, what initially appears like paradise, quickly they realise it's not, and it gets very dark very quickly, and it's amazing. One of the best suspense horror comics I've read, and it shouldn't work. It's like Cartoon Cats, it shouldn't work, but 9 out of 10. And talk about brilliant horror, we have Frankenstein issue 4, Universal Monsters, by Michael Walsh and coloured by his partner / wife, Toni Marie Griffin. Beautiful, gorgeous artwork. The pacing is superb. This is definitely the best of the Universal Monsters comics, and I've enjoyed all of them. But this is a definite 10 out of 10. And if you've not been buying it, do get the hardback when it comes out. One comic I'm having an absolute blast with is JSA. This is issue 2. It's got written by Jeff Lemire. I love the JSA anyway. I always have, all the way back to the Justice League crossovers, what they used to do with the JSA back in the late 70s and early 80s. The art by Ola Togo is amazing. I love it. It's got a very 70s 80s feel. It feels like an Avengers comic when Steve Epstein used to draw it and Tom Palmer inked it. It's got that kind of flavour to it, and it's perfect for this kind of big, bombastic, fun comic with where you've got the new generation of JSA and the old generation of JSA doing a concurrent like slipstream mystery. It's brilliant. 9 out of 10. Geiger, this is it for me, this issue, and it's very prevalent how different Pelletier's artwork is in this issue compared to Jeff Johns. Not that he's not a bad artist, by far from it, he's a really good artist, but what didn't seem as totally different the first issue he did. When this one, it feels a lot looser, and it just pulled me out of it. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. But by far, still a good comic. But out of the Geiger storyline, it's the weakest one. Then we have Hosbane Halo. I didn't put this on my order sheet, so I picked this up off the shelves, and I'm so pleased that I did. It's by Peter J. Tomasi, Peter Snodberg, and it's just great. It's about these two kids who, one is on the side of the angels, one is on the side of the devils, and they get switched at birth to see if that will bring balance, or if they'll resort to the natural hellish or heavenly behaviour. And it's great. It's a great supernatural kid-friendly comic. 9 out of 10. I love it. Absolutely love it. And another one that I loved, Rocketfellas. I got the Ivan Reis cover. Not that I had a choice, because this was the only one that was left. Because again, it's one I forgot to put on my pull list. But it's great. This is how the Fantastic Four should be. It's the Fantastic Four meets Johnny Quest, and I'm all for it. It's a future family flung back into our timeline, trying to unravel this mystery and trying to see what they can do to get back. And it's great. Yeah, 9 out of 10. So that's it. I must be doing another video, maybe, looking at DC Universe Infinite and trying it from us, see how it is. I tried it about 2 or 3 years ago. It was very basic then, but it has improved a lot, so I'm going to give my opinions on it. And I'm going to discuss some ideas as well, maybe about starting a Patreon so we can do like a book club or something like that. If you'd be interested in me doing something like that, do let me know. I'll just have to see if it'd be worth me doing it. Okay, bye.